Hello.
SK Gaming versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. The SK train did not stop upon DE train, and now they have an opportunity to finish in 2. It's grand final time, and it is also time to see if the Swedes can bounce back on cash. Now, Janko and Daze are here to explain to me exactly, first, what on earth NiP are capable of on cash, and second, where on earth this cash pick came from. The fact that it wasn't banned was a surprise to some of us here on the desk, especially because as we sat here, Janko, doing research, you said it before in the pre-match, you were like, yeah, so the last time we actually saw SK's cash offline was Malmo. That's 7 months ago to the guys at home. 7 months without playing this map offline, and now they're going up against one of the best teams, well, at least historically, on cash. Surely we're guaranteed to see a third.
You see, that's the key word, Alex, surely. You never go with surely, because that's when things start going wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, the reason behind this is that SK doesn't feel that confident on Nuke, which would definitely have been NiP's pick if that was left in the map pool. So they're thinking, okay, we believe that we're going to lose on Nuke. Why not just throw the dice and go for a map like Cash? Who knows what might happen, because definitely NiP is not expecting us to go for that map.
Now, Sam, you suggested that SK as a team, as a group of individuals, have the ingredients necessary to be good at cash. I'd like you to explain what you mean by that and what these ingredients are.
Well, on CT side, first off, they have 2 very dynamic oppers, 2 very good oppers. So if you want to run any type of a 1-3-1 strategy, it's very viable. Second off, their rotations are very, very quick, similar to something we see on them from Dust 2. They rotate very fast. Cash is really about fast rotating and supporting your teammates that are anchoring the A and the B site.
And I mean, what's funny is when we look at Malmo, bearing in mind this was the last time they played Cash, they conceded 2 losses. They lost to Tyloo, of course, it's going 0-5 here in Oakland, and they lost to Mousesports, who Janko considers really, really bad at the game.
0-5 as well.
0-5. Yeah, there you go, perfect. The 2 teams that didn't pick up a single map win in IEM Oakland were the 2 teams that beat SK, then Luminosity, at Cash.
And that tournament is exactly what prompted SK to rethink their map pool. That's when they went to Cash being their permanent map, permanent veto, and they brought Dust 2 back into the pool, which was their veto beforehand. So obviously a reason behind them going for that map. What I think is the case, though, is that on this particular map, for NiP, SK will take a lot of risks because obviously they have nothing to lose, right? This is not a map they play at all. So for NiP, it's about being smart, right? On their T side, I feel like NiP should try and go for fakes early on, because SK is kind of forced to over-rotate to things because they are not as practiced on the map. And I think that would be a good way for NiP to just, you know, secure the game very early on.
And my question to you, Sam, is surely there's well, not only is there a lack of pressure on SK, this is a map that they don't play, but what can they do versus such a seasoned Cash team to actually make an impact, do some damage, and counter NiP on Cash?
Well, I guarantee you on the C side, they're going to keep it very, very simple. They're going to try to do Molly takes at B, post mid control, and they're going to do Molly takes at A, almost certainly. But on CT side, I think they need to set up their oppers at A and B, and the way they're going to do that is if you have riflers, don't always smoke right away. Make it a question in NiP's mind whether they're opping it, and that way when you do opt that side, you're going to have a more likelihood of success. Next, what I want to see SK do is, when it comes to mid control on the CT side, always fake like you have mid control. Don't ever just throw 1 smoke and a molly at the boost and let them know that there's 1 there. Even if you're not going to play middle, put someone up close sometimes even, use a couple nades, make a lot of noise, and then that way, if NiP wants to do any type of mid control, they have to go through a much more difficult checklist, use a lot more utility, which is going to open up other areas of the map.
And also really important to note that, of course, SK is 1-0 up, so they have that, you know, 1 map to work with. They know that even if they lose this map, there's still a decider to be played. They are in the lead, which will, again, leave them with a lot of room to take risks.
Take risks, take some gambles, and surprise NiP as they try and take us into a 3rd map. It would feel almost unjust to not see a full 3-map series here for this grand final. SK Gaming, they destroyed on their map pick, and now it's NiP's turn to show us what they've got on theirs. Thank you so much once again, YNK and Daze. The game is ready, and so Cash will be our 2nd map of the series. Whether it will be our last is NiP's choice to make. They're going to have to put on a show here as the Swedes battle here in Oakland. Oakland to demonstrate their prowess at the game that is Counter-Strike. Our casters are Henry G and Sadakist, and this is Cash to see if we see that third map decider. The grand final could very well end after this.
And a very good point you made, Alex, about Cash for SK the last time they played it in a LAN environment. Malmo, they went out in groups. Tyloo was one of the teams that beat them on it. They showed some innovation with double smoke entries from Squeaky, but ultimately they never had success on the map as they expected.
Yeah, absolutely. The problem I have with Cash is right now, yes, SK haven't played it in a while, but in terms of the form we just saw there, everyone from SK has turned up to this grand final. So far for NiP, there's only one player. Yes, it was Train. We didn't expect them to actually win the map, but surely giving us a decent game would have been promising going into this one. You can see they're fired up, they're hungry, they're never going to back down NiP. I do favor them on Cash overall, but just a scary form we're seeing from SK Gaming right now does make me feel this could be a 2-0. We'll see what happens here as we go into the pistol. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for the second map. NiP on the T side here, 4 sets of armor, 1 smoke and a flashbang as well. That's going to be in the hands of Exist. Fallen, he's got the defuse kit. And we do see a lot of teams favored towards this B site. Trying to get that bomb down quickly, go toe-to-toe with the CTs here. coldzera, though, he locked him down on the Train CD pistol. Can he do the same here?
And oftentimes we see CTs favor the B side off the pistol. This time it's the opposite. They get Taco aggressively to his stance inside of A-main where they get information, and then they can bring the kit and Fallen back over toward that B site. And he's the one without armor. He finds the opening kill. Cold gets caught off in a nade, though. Speak of that armor, takes Fallen down to 8 HP. Fur, vent not blown out, has to get in position, spots them up, but Forrest sees him and he backs away. This gives NiP a little bit of ground to walk on, but FNX as well has made his way back in the B site. Oh, that's pretty sick from Fur. FNX gets the second one. That back away shot on Get Right was massive. What? And again, every time I'm about to go quiet, thinking it's going to go quiet, Fur steps up massively. Forrest has to do the same on Fallen. It's FNX down as well. We're getting headshots around the boarding. Thankfully, that bomb is down inside of the vent, not on top of it, and Forrest is able to grab it, go to B. It's Fur. 2 magic shots, but he's got to find a third to run out the round, and Forrest, it'll be his 4th if he does so. Kit inside of the site, keep in mind as well. Fallen drop one down top of Heaven. Quick peek, quick shot. Forrest changes his position as a result. Knows he's gone back down low, but Fur hits another headshot, and SK is going to start this game off as well with a win.
What a pistol round to kick things off on Cash here. Fur hitting some absolutely stellar shots there. Crazy stuff towards middle. It's NiP getting the man advantage towards that B side. They boost up in the vents, trying to catch the rotations there, but Fur, he shuts them down. Forrest as well, he chimes in with some excellent shots of the silent USP. He's known for that weapon and his prowess. But still, Fur comes out on top there, 1-0 for SK Gaming on the CT side of Cash. Bomb goes down for NiP, so they can buy up in the third. It's going to have to be a pretty hard eco going into the second round here.
And Fur, with all those kills on the pistol, is going to go to the M4. The rest will stay with the SMGs. You mentioned this last game as well for SK. But they're not scared of running multiple SMGs in the second round. UMP, the one of choice for obvious reasons. It goes against the armor well. Bomb plant coming in, and a full save of... well, not full save pistol upgrade, but full save no Kevlar means that we'll probably see guns out immediately after this round.
The interesting thing about these UMPs is, Matt, obviously very mobile weapons. They're going to have the AKs next round, and Cash is one of the few maps in the pool, similar to Dust 2, where the CTs have a lot of options. They can push into tight choke points, maybe towards Squeaky Door, push the B-bomb site, and actually see if they can get it early killed. I wouldn't be surprised if all that next round if they keep all 5 players alive here. That's going to be a really exciting round. But still, NiP do have the potential to find a couple of kills here with these P250s, but with no nades, you don't really see much happening here.
Molotov out. They have managed to get one down over the drop. FNX will back away as a result. Forrest will be the one to pursue. And as he backs away, they smartly start to rotate Fallen, or rather Cole, outside of the B side a little bit closer by getting into Heaven so he can cover off mid should it be required. But FNX is still in a position where he can peek out. Taco, the third man inside the A site, plays off information, but it leaves Fur, who gets aggressive by the doorway. Vulnerable as Pith catches him off. As he opens it up inwardly, it leaves him directly on the doorstep. Pith's going to follow that up with Taco as well. Remember, he was hot on Train. He's got a dink in toward FNX on 17. He's vulnerable, exposed, and left alone. He's got to sit back passively and wait for his teammates to rotate over.
Yeah, well, the problem is here, there is utility available as the flames start encroaching on Get Right there, but still, 5 HP, just trying to hope for some sort of plan here. I don't see it happening, but given a little chance there, coldzera takes him down. Like we said, the terrorists are going to be buying up in the next round, and that's almost good news for SK here. It means they do get to get some M4s here, and maybe challenge AK-47s a little bit more effectively, but they do have 3 UMPs, like I said. A map where the cities have options here. I wouldn't be surprised when maybe go for a boost towards middle, pushing Squeaky Door to try and find one frag to give them the advantage and fall back. And here's the final vibe. 2 M4A4s, 3 UMPs, and an array of utility. NiP surely will be holding for this initial aggression, but let's see what kind of approach they go for.
Quick boost up. Exist. Gonna be the one to try and find the opening. Smoke placed close. He's got to go wide though. That leaves them vulnerable and cold. Zero finds two. FNX back out. UMP. Now this is where it becomes a problem. It actually does decent damage, but he has to go for the reload. And Get Right will get away as a result. But perhaps not as right as he would have liked because he's only on 24 HP. 3 versus 3 nonetheless. And one kit in play for FNX at this point in time means NiP could split the site quite well and try and execute onto A. Watch the position in the corner for them as they do have Fur close up.
Yeah, that's going to be the linchpin right here. No grenades really remaining for NiP at this point. Incendiary goes into Squeaky Door, but about to step up, but it's Get Right as strikes first.
And that's a big kill to get inside mid, but he doesn't get to capitalize because Fallen's already rotating out of B. So information, they know it's going to be onto the A site. They already spotted that with the Molotov, but they can't lurk in and catch off Fur. Instead, Freiburg does it via the headshot. It's going to be Fallen to rotate up 1 versus 2. Remember, the kit was down and toward that A site. Bomb just in before the Molotov tries to go for the deny, and Fallen goes hunting, spots the head, but can't land it. Pitt's going to win the round for NiP.
Difficult start there for NiP, losing those first 2 frags, 2 colds error. But like we said, it's almost a bonus round for SK at that point. They've got the UMPs out. They take a little bit of a hit in terms of the economy in the previous round. So it's NiP able to capitalize here. Here's the replay from Colds Error. I thought the round was over at that point. Get Right, though, getting out of that position when he was low HP. Falls back towards the A site, and Freiburg with a very key entry back there as the retake started to come in from the CTs. It's just going to be a full eco for SK at this point. PD-50s, Desert Eagles, no grenades available ready. And it's going to be Freiburg to open things up. We do favor them on cash. Obviously, Train was indicative of the form SK are in right now, but NiP surely favor considering the length of time it's been since SK have actually played this map on LAN.
Pistol rounds, by the way, are 2-1 in favor of SK, plus they ecoed after NiP won the first one on Train. So they've had the advantage for economy every single half we've started out so far in this grand final. Taco spars off with Forrest after his teammate goes down and successfully finds the kill on the USP, but it's just 1 kill to find. He does get the AK for it, as it was quite far forward inside of him. I mean, second one's there as well, but they won't be able to get that far up.
We have got an AK-47 available for Taco here. NiP aren't quite done with this round. He seem aggressive towards A main at this point. Whether NiP will be ready for this position, I'm not so sure they're going to face, and he doesn't land the headshot just yet, but still going to be battling, and he has a Molotov as well. That will slow them down. This next frag is going to be very key as Freiburg's willing to take the duel.
Peeks out. Flames actually blind up the first shot, so it doesn't come in right away. It gets him a 1-for-1 as he overcommitted. It's falling inside of the site. He's got the deagle to work with, gets a little bit closer, tries to take advantage of the smoke. He'll be able to see the feet when they walk through. They aren't going just yet, and that smoke's getting closer and closer to dissipating. As Sech pushes up, Pip catches him off. Perhaps Texture through the doorway, sees the gun barrel no less. It's cold. He's going to have to be very cold as he walks in from the flank. USP to work with. Bomb's going to go down, hands of Freiburg. And above the door, yeah, they've got position. Hear that open, all turn their attention. Get Right sprays down. A little bit of extra spray because he was a little bit confused as to why he didn't hit the early shots, but it doesn't matter. NiP has 2.
Well, there it is. They find a couple of frags, but towards the end, they look quite comfortable for the Ninjas. It was that AK-47 pushed in A main that made things a little bit more complicated, but they managed to recover. But this is where things get interesting now for the Ninjas. They know the money's not going to be great for SK Gaming overall. As you can see, no kits, 2 Famouses. We have got the fallen AWP. For me, that suggests we should keep the pressure on, keep trying to take over middle there. Actually, when they might not have incendiary grenades, and we'll see whether Freiburg get control of the B storage here. Flashbang comes in, that's where Fallen's waiting for him and misses that first shot.
Missed a few of those tonight. Fortunately, every time he has, they haven't been able to trade it back or capitalize on it. So he gets to relocate, gets to reset. It also baits Cold back into that box position, and Fallen was aggressive with the op. They've seen him retreat. That could actually serve very well for Cold to be overlooked. Should NiP get careless? Again, they've got experience, but in high-pressure situations, it's very easy to overlook an obligation.
You can see now, NiP are doing a really good job. They've kept all 5 players alive, and look at the utility remaining for SK Gaming. No kits and 3 flashbangs. That's it. They've been bled out at this point. If NiP were to execute anywhere, it's going to be almost impossible to hold them off. Fallen probably needs to be hunting for a frag at this point. He's still quite passive towards B.
While the smoke's out, crisscross, as you say, to cover off a potential entrance onto the vents. Freiburg's going to go on this, but Get Right's not in a position to flush them from the other side. So this says to me they might just want to push directly through, and that's exactly what Freiburg does. Needs to wrap fast. First spots his shoulder. Too slow, no flash over. And it serves well for SK to find the opening pick and Get Right. He'll go in clean with no utility, no smokes left to try and compensate for that loss. Tough position to be in as well, as they've already rotated Fur back off the highway. They can go more passive. It's onto the A site, 2 inside of A main. Taco up in the corner and Pitts underneath in the doorway. He'll hear this. They've used this position in reverse. Get Right boosted last time. He sees the smoke, sees the feet, gets the first shot for free. No one able to get through the door, and he's going to drop down, hunt for more, and he does it successfully. Exist will drop the bomb, and Taco, he just has to sit back and let his teammates rotate.
That's so beautiful from Taco. That movement is just perfect. He's on top of that boosted position, looking in towards main entrance just as the smokes are thrown as well. He knows the terrorists are going to have more utility in their hands, finds the first frag, and this is the most interesting part of it. He knows he's going to be flanked from the other side, drops down, catches another T by surprise, Exist goes down and just can't do anything about it. SK Gaming take the lead once again, 3-2. And a difficult round for them as well. Didn't have much money to work with there, and they upgrade their Famises to AKs. And it's going to be a forced fight from the Ninjas. 3 AKs, 2 pistols, 2 Molotovs and a smoke. Not much to work with here, and this exchange could be key.
Forrest thought about chasing it down, but knew if he took another step further, it would be exposed to quad. He wouldn't have known it. There was no one there, but either way, smart decision to back away, as he couldn't capitalize on the headshot. Taco's down to 77 instead. And Fallen again's trying to put himself in a position where he can find opening opportunities with the AWP.
Well, at this point, Matt, NiP's options really have to go for that mid-control, see what they can do, push the CTs back. They haven't got much to work with in terms of actually executing to a bomb site. Need a pick to open things up here.
Keep in mind that position from Fallen as well on the AWP is a direct counter to Get Right, who normally lurks out toward Toxic or Sunroom. And that's a lot of the execution for them because it gives them information on B and they can flush out from the vents and cross on anyone in that position. But if Fallen beats him with the op, it takes that option away. FNX getting pushed. As you said, they need to find a pick. They need to get aggressive. Caught with the nade out. Forrest finds exactly what NiP need to start the round.
And there we go. Something to work with here. They will be going for the B split. Just Fallen waiting for them, though. He's got the AWP. This next shot's going to be hugely important.
That smoke is so tight. Just gets back in time and Get Right can't land it. But he goes tight directly up on top of the platform. Leaves himself very, very pressured for when they do walk in, and he's lost his teammate Cold to cover the crossfire. He's got to land shots, almost line up. Can't, goes between the two. Now he's pressured. Now he's overwhelmed as Pitt walks in, headshot down, bomb to be planted in the back corner, and Exist covering off the vents leaves it to just Taco remaining. And a lovely shot from Freiberg to bring it back to threes.
Yeah, didn't have much to work with there. 3 rifles and 2 pistols. Had to try and find that first pick, get something working in their favor. And as far as it capitalizes, his teammate took the attention away towards main entrance. And at that point, he pushes up to the short box, takes down the initial player with the P250 to go for that B split. And it was down to Fallen. But he's there by himself, smoked out as well. Tries to flash him off, but just can't land a shot to the back of the site. He's had a few misses on this cash map so far, but it's a pretty harsh reset now for SK Gaming. 3-3. Not necessarily a double eco, they can buy up into the next round, but there's going to be Deagles as we go to round number 7 then.
Now smoke out again. Fallen wants to play aggressive once more. This time it's Deagle. Not even op and Get Right. He's got the confidence. He knows the money's not there. This is exactly what he does. He tries to find that first pick. You've been critical at times during ESL Online when he overcommits to pushing through smokes near the boxes, but so far he's been passive, and that's the way we've seen him in the last, more recent form of NiP.
It's just one of those things when you know how someone plays the map, like obviously everyone studies Get Right's demos, when they start countering his B storage play and pushing through middle, that's when it looked a little bit silly at times, but if he is getting his timings down and he can actually out-frag players, which does happen a lot of the time as well, then it looks fantastic. We'll see whether that Get Right turns up today, but still, this round was going to be redundant regardless. It's going to be 2 pistols remaining here. 5 on 2, Fur and Taco trying to get some exit frags. And Fur picks up a Deagle from a fallen comrade there.
Quick little dink on to Exist. We'll push him back. No need to chase down, just a Deagle. No armor. Let the round go. NiP disciplined enough to keep their guns up, want to play economy to a T, build out a round in hand. They wouldn't have a full buy should they lose this round. For example, obviously not going to, but that means if they do save all 5, they will have a round in hand in the next. So smart to be disciplined. Pitt does find Fur, but not overly aggressive, so smartly done.
Yeah, every kill always matters in Counter-Strike. You should just be disciplined, try and keep all 5 players alive, work together, make sure you're using that buddy system, so if anyone does go down, you're not giving a weapon away. So we'll just be Taco now, holding towards Squeaky Door, only a silent USP. See if he can find a Deagle or something to take to the next round, but regardless, they're going to be buying anyway. He does find that Deagle. And no exit frag going to be found. So there it is. It's going to be 2 rounds in a row for NiP. They take the lead once more. Now we have got a back and forth game. This isn't going to be a whitewash map. And we do have another gun round coming in. SK Gaming with the AWP. We haven't seen too much in terms of like initial aggression from the CTs as of yet. If I'm in the in-game leader, I probably want to be calling that right now. Fallen has been towards the B site more or less every round so far. We'll see whether he can change things up. And he actually will be still towards B storage, but maybe we'll see something towards Squeaky Door, for example.
Molotov goes in and it's immediately countered by a default smoke onto Garage. Molotov was intended so that they couldn't get this aggressive position in toward the corner, but they're going for it anyway. Get Right, might counter it, flash through. Everyone's lost. He's in it toward the fork. He knows they've got to be there, but he can't find the shot. He can't find the lineup, and he's in hot water now, surrounded, and Fur's going to find the kill. Leaves Taco inside. Pitt doesn't know it. He thinks Fur's the only one close, but somehow he gets away with the kill. It's going to open up Cole, but leave him vulnerable to a trade against Exist, who'd gone through middle, and suddenly the A site is entirely attainable, as it's just FNX. And he'll get caught off by the AWP, leaving Fallen. Bomb has to be grabbed and crossed over, though, and the op not scoped in on time will allow it to happen.
Well, here we go then. Fallen without a kit. 2 versus 1 situation. The bomb down as well. Takes the smoke there. Gives himself a little bit of a gap to work with, but you can see it's going to be Forest and Exist. Exist actually towards the connector area as well, just trying to come in for the pin to play. Works out perfectly as well, gets the headshot in the back, and you can see, just as we discussed, what Get Right does on this map, he takes opportunities, uses his instincts to push through smokes there, gets great position here, very unlucky with this spray not to take down further, but he causes absolute pandemonium towards the A side. His teammates come in result, and as the madness is ensuing, it's Pit to find the majority of the kills and continuing his good form here on Cash. It's 5-3 and another eco for SK Gaming. Things are starting to look more positive for the Ninjas now.
Yeah, Pith again on 10 kills, Forest 6, Get Right 7. He's been finding multiples every time, it seems. Not just one and done. Get Right's going to be more passive, smartly so. They're putting a lot of pressure on the B side with just these pistols. He went aggressive last time against the Eco. They know he plays here. It's the most direct counter. Sprays in good damage, does take Fallen in the end. Got a little bit close as he went down to 48 before he'd found either of those 2 frags.
I actually really like NiP as a whole package on their anti-ecos. They know exactly what they have to do. It's ever since Brett came in, really, you can see they just know how to give themselves the highest percentage chance of winning the round. They never really commit early on in the rounds in which they're good staking positions together, taking favorable duels as well, and you can see how it's working out for them. They've dropped 1 frag so far, taking a little bit of damage there, but Exist, he starts to hide in the corner. Sorry, that's Freiburg with low HP, doesn't want to give anything away, and his teammate comes to back him up. Coldzera goes down, and it will be Taco as the last remaining player here in a 4-on-1. Not really much you can do here as Forest finishes him off there. 6-3. We do have money available for SK Gaming once again. It's not ideal, but enough for a full buy, certainly.
Not for a full buy, but do they go for the AWP? I think they're debating it, and they're going to go 2. They had enough for 2, but it's 2 glass cannons.
Well, then.
1 is a risk, but they're going to double up. Now, Cash is entirely a map you can get away with this on, but puts a lot of pressure on them hitting shots, and we know Fallen's been a little bit shaky compared to normal. Taco's going to get aggressive.
We'll see whether this AWP can actually open things up here. Coldzera towards B-Saw is taking Fallen's role, and Fallen, he's made his way towards the quad side of the A-bomb site here. Coldzera going to be Molotov'd out of position. It's more of a default play here from the Ninjas, but Get Right, like we said, towards that B side, pushing for a smoke, it seems.
Interesting position for the crossfire at mid. 1 on top as we saw Taco on the garage. Get Right.
Every time.
Starting to find this confidence. It can be scary because it's a risk-reward factor, and you never really know which one's going to haunt them. The aggression in mid is to compensate for the fact that the ops are out on the wings, and they want to try and funnel the offense into those AWP positions. Not surprisingly, Fallen has, we haven't really seen this position, the second one over toward that quad side on A, which is also a position which is very easy to smoke off. But Fallen's good up close as well with an AWP.
Well, let's see where he can deliver. It's been quiet this map so far, had little to no impact. The opening on 2 frags, and Forest flushing the CTs out with their Molotovs at the start of the round there, and now they're going for that mid-execution once again. Try and take down the vents, the connector, and see if they can find kills with that short box, doing everything they possibly can to eradicate risk at this point.
Forest is going to go with an AWP, aggressively checks out the positions which were already previously occupied by SK. Fur taking damage backed away, spots the gun barrel, but Freiburg's already got the shot. He goes down, and FNX not quite wide enough to be acceptable to be traded out. Exist does find it now. This leaves Fur in a position where he has to cover off Fallen. No smokes out in front of that AWP at French just yet, but now he's got the shot. Goes for the no-scope, can't find it, Pips there. And as a result, the round over, Exist is able to find Cold in rotation.
5 in a row now for NiP, looking very calculated here. You can see why they were considered the masters of Cash. SK Gaming having a really rough time here, actually holding them off with just the pure fundamentals of the map. NiP's default, flushing them out of the key positions, working as a unit, and actually finding the frags that really mattered at that point. The AWPs, once again, having little impact there. They took a bit of a risk with the double AWP setup with glass cannons as well. Full only finding 1 frag, and it's yet another eco here for SK Gaming. 7-3, we've got Deagles, CZs, a smoke and an HE grenade, but you can see this is why SK don't really play this map. They're looking quite stale, I have to say, not really being that dynamic. Don't look as confident as themselves as they do on Train. That's what we talk about on Train. They've got that relentless aggression on a map that's not really known for it. Cash, you've got these options. You've got chances to push in and find the initial frags. They're not really taking them right now. They're sitting back and allowing NiP to run the full defaults, Get Right to get in key positions, scare the CTs and make them drop all the utility. And this round should be another clean-cut one for NiP.
Forrest waiting in position, that indicates he's going to be boosting. Likely Exist up exactly that. He'll go with the AK. They put the second Molotov in a position to cover off the vents. That'll flush it back and push Coldzera inside of the B site, which therefore allows Freiburg to more safely take over mid-presence. Again, though, they don't have Get Right on the other side of those vents to catch Cold when he Let's go back, and actually, I take that back. I thought he was inside of it on the minimap. The vent's not blown out. That indicates he was never there at all, so he was on the inside the whole time with the pistol. Freiburg's gonna have to be careful of that. Because his crosshair placement does indicate it's directly on, and Freiburg's anticipating to be further back. Sees him now, but the shoulder was shown first. Good trade from Exist to be in the same position. Now it's only Fallen on the B site. Has the headshot line up with the Deagle, finds one, flames burning, he's got to back away, can't find the second shot, and he overcommits to trying to find it. As a result, he'll go down. It gives Get Right a position up close. Bomb to be planted in the site, 2 to rotate from Vents. Forest, AWP. Timely fashion, gets there at the right time, finds both. Taco down, it's round over for Fur.
Yeah, a couple of nice shots there from the CTs. You can see, like I said, eradicating risks, Molotovs in the bomb site, smokes in the key choke points as well. The CTs can't really do much with that, even though Fallen hits that lovely headshot with the Desert Eagle. It will just be Fur now remaining in the 3-on-1, looking for an exit frag. Like I said, their NIP probably don't want to give anything away. You want to be exiting out the same position. Pitt, though, wants to find this last kill, it seems. He takes down Fur to finish things off, and that's now going to be 6 rounds in a row for NIP. There's a little replay of Cold Zero opening things up, but like I said, the refrags coming in. That's so key. You need to make sure you're there with your teammates, getting the refrag every single time. Money available once again for SK Gaming. Double AWP set up again, map. It's getting a bit desperate now. They've yet to post a round since number 5, I think, and it's going to be 6 in a row for an IP. Double AWP set up a bit stronger this time. And okay, double AWP set up and an auto sniper. Unorthodox, but you know what? A little bit desperate at the moment. Let's see if it works out for them.
Auto, unsurprisingly, goes to quad. Very likely position to be overwhelmed by multiple opponents. Spam potential, but this is the interesting one. Fallen's going to play on the A side as well.
Yeah,
behind forklift. Yeah, I agree with rotating that off. I'd rather see that toward the truck or on the highway at the very least, and he's going to go to the bottom of highway.
Yeah, the auto sniper suddenly makes sense. If the smoke execution comes in, you spam through that smoke, but Forest, he's taking down Fallen. That's one of the AWPs gone already.
Fur's on the high ground, on side at the top of the catwalk, but the smoke down below, he's going to back away already. This puts pressure on Taco. This auto sniper reaching into the barrel, I think, to try and find something. Has to come out on top of the attack. It does find one. Exist will go down. He's already lost his teammate, though. First rotated back in. He's got there late. They thought they already cleared off the forklift. They had it. Switched to the pistol, and Forest, he somehow gets the kill, survives, and it's still Taco yet to go down, found in the end, and NIP find themselves in another 1 versus 3 against Cold. This time he doesn't quite have a pistol, but perhaps his chance is no greater. What a shot. Is that through the edge? No, can't find it. Flashed up, everyone nearly blind, but Get Right's able to win it in the end.
Oh, I thought there was a chance that no-scope came dangerously close. But I have to say, this is a strange setup from SK Gaming, maybe getting a bit desperate at this point. 2 AWPs and the auto sniper. It's not championship winning rounds, and they're not going to find much with it. Yes, they find a couple of kills, but NIP sticking together, not giving too much away there. As Forest opened things up with the initial AWP kill, taking down Fallen. It was a bit crazy that round there, but it was subsided in the end. As NIP take round number 9 here, a 4-spy from SK Gaming, 9-3. They go in the SMGs, the Famases, a couple of M4s here as well. This is what we wanted to see, this confidence, but now it's almost desperation at this stage, trying to find a kill towards B storage. Get Right spotted them. I think we have got 1 towards T spawn there. That's going to be Fallen.
Yeah, Fallen managed to slip by. I think Exist had the call because Get Right spotted multiple, exactly that. So good relay of information. Freiburg saying after the semifinals in a talk with OJ Borg, little mistakes had to be negated by communication. They show it there. They catch off Fallen trying to get sneaky. Fur will find 1 kill in return. That's one of the M4s. They still have 3 rifles up in this, so still a bit of a chance to work with, but no utility, no kits, and there's still 1 minute and 8 to work with for NIP. They can bleed out the CTs entirely.
Yeah, well, they've already done it, really. There's only 1 flashback remaining, no kits, and you can see NIP with the majority of their utilities still in hand. FNX desperately trying to get some control towards the A storage there. That's what you want to be doing, gaining information in terms of where the teams may be going towards or finishing their execution. It will be towards B, it seems, as 4 players make their way towards the B storage area. CT's on this retake. They've got no one on that side of the map. They're trying to stay as a 3-man unit and hopefully retake together. But like I said, no kits, no nades. It's very unlikely they can even get back into this round.
Pushing up inside of middle. Cold wants to get back toward the vents. That's going to be the fastest re-entry toward B side. He could time this well. Flashes going. They're not looking, but Forest is. Great shot on the AWP up close, and Fur taken down by the same man inside the small pit. Took massive damage in doing so, Pith, but Forest finds the shot. FNX gets 1 in return. Bomb's going to go down, or is it? They're going to rotate this back off? No, okay. I thought I saw the bomb on the back of Forest. It was just the butt of his AWP. Instead, they'll smartly plant it and hold off for a 3 versus 1, 4 HP. And a 10th round for NIP.
You have to say, Matt, SK look very average on this map. They don't really have the setups, the rotations, and the flair on this map we expect from the top teams. Like if you see NiP on the CD side, for example, they're doing the counter boost up towards middle. They're pushing B storage and with 2 players, trying to find those first picks. We're not seeing any of that from SK. There's desperate buys and mishmashes of weapons just to try and make something happen here. And now we're getting to this sort of stage, 10-3. They're going to have to keep force buying up. 3 rounds is not going to be enough on the CD side here. There will be FNX finding 1 kill, but quickly shut down by Pip. I don't think we've seen a tactical pause yet from SK Gaming. Maybe time to take one for these last 2 rounds. Money's not in a great position once again. The force buys are relentless, and it's going to be $3,400 across the board. But the buy comes in. UMPs once again. It's feeling very similar to what we saw on Train, to be fair, but the roles are reversed. 1 Famous, 1 M4, 3 UMPs. And NiP looking very comfortable indeed here on the T side of Cash.
So far, so good. Perhaps letting Train through. It's the same poison in reverse. Same antidote, just pick up your own best map. We were questioning why we didn't see it from NiP a little bit earlier in the tournament. Obviously, they've still got it in their bag of tricks. They want to try and broaden their map pool. Heading into 2017. Exist boosted up mid. Good position to be in for any aggression that the CTs do elect to show. They haven't gone all the way inside of the mid garage just yet, but we did see a round with Taco and Fur pushed up. This time it's one of the 2. Taco's already copped a bit of damage down to 54.
Yeah, at this point, they still know the money's low, right, NiP, so they just need to hold back. More of the same, full default. Let the CTs use their grenade at the start of the round. Go for that mid control. Once you have that, the world's your oyster at this point. You know they've got SMGs, they've got no grenades, potentially no kits as well. You go for the mid control. If you go A or B, you've got such a huge advantage, especially if you get that first pick as well. Flashes towards middle, Fryby to lead the charge. Boots coming in as well. And it should be the first frag going in favor of NiP. They've worked out that Cold Zero towards sandbags, but here we go.
Baited in perfectly, though. Fur was in the corner the whole time, finds 2. They only just get FNX back. Cold still there, aggressive, not expecting it. AK gets drawn and Pith goes down. It's a position to be grabbed, but Forrest can't land the shot. Now they're going to know exactly where he is. 4 players, a deer in the headlights, signaled away, and Fur will wrap back around to make it 4 rounds for SK.
Well, then we thought that round was going in favor of NiP, but more mid-presence from SK this time. Actually having the bait-in switch, a player spotted towards sandbags. They didn't anticipate for this UMP to be so close range, finding a couple of kills there. This was quite an interesting kill. I thought it was going to be Pitt taking that one, but taken down, it's going to be 10-4. We're going to the final round here. SK Gaming claw 1 back, and they do have the AWP in hand and rifles to go over it as well. So if they can find 10-5, this is still possible, don't get me wrong. T-side can be a lot looser than the CT. It's very difficult to have the setups to actually work here on Cash, but Fallen, this is what I wanted to see. Can he make this first pick work?
That's so tantalizingly close. Even closer when he does pull the trigger. Might have gone through the wickets. And all 5 stay with 100 HP. Surprisingly, Forrest does take a little bit of damage from an 8 down to 84. So too does Exist as one lands just inside to his right. Fallen's pushed back. It's smoke in front. He's going to have to hit very close shots, and Taco gets caught. Not sure which way to go, if he wants to play close to his teammate or not. We said Fallen had to hit close shots. He finds 2. It's Pith remaining 1 versus 3. Lovely shot on Cold. Don't rule him out of this. He's been hot all series, despite Train not so much for his team. And low HP on Fallen. Flash over. Timing could be off, though, as he gets peeked out. And FNX from Truck will make it 5 rounds for SK. Better late than never, perhaps.
Well, it was a rough ride for SK throughout that campaign in the first half there, but they started to come to life, especially Fallen in the last round. Very, very quiet with the AWP, but some signs of life there. 10-5, still a possibility. And I don't think we're done here. As we go for a quick break, do not go anywhere.
Intel Extreme Masters Oakland is brought to you in part by Intel, HyperX, G Fuel, Kingwin, iBuyPower, Best Buy, Totino's, Acer, and Xfinity.
In a similar way to what the first map was, it's a one-sided opening half, but it's the other team on their map choice, NiP 10-5. A little bit closer, though, if SK could win a pistol. Remember, it's 2-1 pistols in favor of SK.
Absolutely. 10-5 still possible, though. We have to say, SK looked a little bit lost on their city half. Very default throughout. Didn't really bring anything exciting to the table. Mishmash of buys. Auto sniper, double orbs. It didn't really make sense throughout, but they get 5 rounds. If they get this pistol and get the 3-0, we do have a game on our hands. I just don't see SK Gaming having the tactical depth to go toe-to-toe with the Ninjas right now on cash. But let's get into this one, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, the second half of the second map here. 10-5 in favor of NiP. SK Gaming coming into 4 sets of armor. They have got a Superman set up for Taco as well. That's a Tech 9 and body armor. Falling with the 1 smoke grenade, and it looks like they'll be favoring towards the B side as well.
And quickly, unrelentingly. They'll walk when they hit the tunnels just so as not to give it away, and well, I thought they'd continue forward with just Forrest inside the site. It might have been beneficial, but they're going to just sit back just like, for a minute, cover off the potential for NiP to try and get aggressive mid. Cold has bomb. 1 smoke for Fallen to work with, and ideally that goes out toward the tree.
This is exactly what we saw from NiP. Run boost to take the CT's aim away, and then everyone strikes when he takes his first shot.
So run boost goes, oh! But it's the booster that gets nailed. Forrest takes his head clean off. Taco will respond. Smoke never gets deployed. They're going to wait for the post to try and do it. And that gives Freiburg a position inside of heaven, but he can't get aggressive on the peak. He doesn't have anyone else to back him up, and he'd be a sitting duck vulnerable. In fact, as he gets tagged down to 5, it shows exactly that to be true. Has to give up the position to his teammate instead. He does find Taco, and I think that was actually caught off through the edge of the garage with a USP, which is a very impressive shot, I have to say.
There's a wallbang. It's a squeaky door.
Well, either way, FNX is going to wait for a push back in. They've got bomb planted. That's the hard part of this. They have a kit left on Freiburg. He's the one with 5 HP, remember, though. So they've got to try and leave him alive, or at least close to the site. He's doing work on his own. Pith walks in. They don't even need to keep him alive. They can keep everyone alive.
What a fantastic shot there from Forrest to kick things off there. He only finds 1, but he certainly threw a spanner in the works. Like I said, I think Freiburg actually got a wallbang into checkers to kick things off.
With the USP.
Yeah, I think that actually happened. But this is the first shot from Forrest head. Like I said, it's the run boost head designed to take his aim away. He just takes the booster down. Taco with a great shot return, but that was still very exciting indeed. Hopefully we will see if that was a wallbang. I want to know, but we're going to round number 2. Was the Ninjas there picking up the round, and we did see a bomb going down for SK Gaming, so they won't be forcing into this round. They bring some Desert Eagles, 5 of them to be exact, and hopefully with the AKs in the 3rd, we'll see what kind of damage they can inflict to the Ninjas' economy here in round number 2.
Boost up for Cold, perhaps support for his play, and he didn't actually like to stay up there. They put him up, and then I think he fell back down, so Fallen's going to come back out to put him there again. Wants to hold the angle towards Z Connector with the Deagle. No one inside of mid on that side, so no one at the bags either. It's going to be get right closest bottom of highway, just jumping over top of the white box to spot. Quite be, be able to spot Taco. He won't be able to spot anyone. Fur takes his head off of the mid-jump, so now they've got a bit of a chance to try and take over highway. Exist is going to fall back in behind the ticket booth. As a result, good peek out back to catch Taco, though, and that negates the initial threat of a split toward the A site.
Well, here we go then. Something to work with, though, but just Eagles in hand. First kill was found towards middle, you can see. And there's going to be some more damage inflicted to Freiburg there. It goes down to 41 HP. Problem is, though, SK Gaming, there's no nades at all to work with. Need Deagle headshots at range to make this a possibility. Potentially setting up for the B split here as Fergus his way towards the vents.
Forrest in behind the box. First point of contact. He's going to try and bait them in as close as possible. Deagle from that range is still powerful against the UMP, but it's Freiburg instead that may actually get the spot because they're not getting that aggressive on the vent. Now they drop down. He hears it, goes wide. This will bait them in. Freiburg, he'll get the aggro pulled away from him and has Setch to be able to do exactly that. That works out perfectly. FNX didn't quite round the corner. It could have been problematic, but NiP pick up round 12.
Freiburg and Forrest known to be this great duo towards the B side on cash. Perfect timing there. You can see Forrest not giving anything away. Waits until he hears that footstep coming from the vent. Faces at the correct time at that point. Freiburg's backing him up, and it's just a great tag team combo. That was for the initial shot there. Quite a deadly one, but still. Okay, then we don't see the force by coming in the 3rd round. After getting the bomb down in the pistol as well, we expected to see that AKs in the 3rd, but it's not happening. It's just be Desert Eagles here. Oh my God!
What is that from Cold? Through the smoke finds 2, as they almost lined it up perfectly for him. He barely had to move, and that's a massive start for SK, because Taco's going to follow it up. We're 1 minute and 34 left in the round, and there's been 3 kills on Deagles already. They've got a UMP to work with, and it's panic mode for NiP. They're not even set up into a defensive default yet. Yeah. That is massive from Cold.
That's not usual. That's very unusual. With coldzera, double deagle kill. Now it's going to be a 4-on-2 with Fallen. Control of the B side as well. Both of NiP are towards the A side, but look at the bomb going down on the other side of the map. This is looking very promising for the Brazilians here. And just with the Eagles, it seems.
This will salvage a little bit of pride by finding Taco, but that's on A. Bomb planted B. Forest with it all to do. They don't have a gun picked up on this side of the map, but they've got 3 players watching for this. They'll hear him jump down. Does spot for up, staring at the wall. I think he's waiting for potentially someone to walk in through the vents. Very slow reactions. Still has 2 to find. It's a riddle to solve. He's got his teammate getting closer. As Exist gets onto Heaven, that spots up 1. Fallen. They know he's on the site. Try and get onto him quickly and potentially go for the defuse, but he stays alive. Forrest, no kit, no time. Fallen hits the shot regardless.
What an insane round. The replay, please, of coldzera's deagles. That was absolutely nuts. Just runs through that smoke at the start, and here we go. How did this happen? You can see NiP just weren't expecting this at all. 2 absolutely 6 shots. Exist takes him down, but the damage had been done at that point. And it is going to be SK Gaming with a little bit of help from coldzera and Fallen there. PD50 to finish things off. It's going to be a force bite in return for NiP. 2 M4s, CZs, and a PD50 trying to return the favor, it seems. And they will be having focus towards mid. Friberg makes his way towards the vents, but a full default from SK Gaming here. It tries to push in towards A main and actually gets the first kill.
Bomb temporarily, that's grabbable. Pith falls back into the site. No one opening squeaky door to try and grab him on the way through because they didn't have information on toward the position at quad. coldzera almost goes simple style aggressive in the last round, and then they do it right back with the M4s on an aggressive buy, and Pitt's going to find a second kill in this. He's continuing to find multiples and positions and HP that shouldn't favor him in doing so. GetRight's going to have to sit very carefully on that ledge for a moment.
Yes, I would say that's fair. Well, here we go then. Still the man advantage, but Fur finds one back. That's going to be Pitt. Like you said, the linchpin of this round so far. Fur's going to be on 13 HP. The man advantage still lies in favor with the Swedes.
Friberg is boosted up, GetRight. His patience pays off. CZ 75, we're finding unorthodox wins everywhere, and NiP, this would be big for them to pull it back right away. Trying to get any momentum loss and put something back into this map that was served to them last time around. FNX isn't going to allow it, gets back through the smoke. The AK in that position, though, against weaponless players was quite favorable. And this actually leaves only 1 rifle up right now for NiP. That's for Exist.
Yes, but the good news is Forest is pushing towards the B storage, so at least they're getting information here. They can pretty much eradicate. B's not going to be prevalent in terms of where they're going towards, but still it's going to be Exist towards middle, so they open a bomb site with 15 seconds remaining as well. That plant can come in, and with a Molotov remaining as well, they're going to use that to try and flush out any potential CTs that are going to be there, but Exist now, he's going to have an inkling as what's coming.
Fires at the first, not the second, spots them in the cross, goes for FNX. Lands it, knows Cold has to be planting, 4 seconds, gets it forward position as a result, but Cold smartly pops back out with the AK, and he's got 72 HP against Forrest, who only has a CZ, so this could all come to naught. As Cold gets close to the wall and Forrest walks out, gives himself up.
Exist, he sees the prize there, trying to actually take the bomber down as he's planting. He runs in with the flashbang. Potentially should have waited for his teammate there, giving him a chance and actually to play a 2 versus 1 situation instead of 2 one-on-ones. You can see Forrest struggling just to seize it in hand, didn't have information as to where he finished his position. And there it is, the force fight doesn't work out for the Ninjas after Pitt did some great work there towards the start. With A main, that's what you want to be doing on the CD side, pushing that position with flashbangs, catching T's out of position. He did such a good job to open things up. But SK Gaming potentially back in this game now, and because they forced another recount for NiP.
Bounce the Molotov in behind the box, but it's GetRight on the other side of the wall instead, so he'll be fine. 3 players over toward B. Cold almost echoing exactly what GetRight likes to do on their T side. We saw it multiple times. Meanwhile, the rest of SK, they'll start to look out toward the A side. Nades in behind Forklift. 1 smoke so far. They aren't going to use that. Just trying to force the defense to move and try and do some damage in the process. If they can get an early pick, benefits against these pistols. And smartly as well, reading the economy. SMGs will, especially MAC-10s against armorless players.
Yeah, well, there's 1 player waiting for them on the A sides. Another one rotates in, but a lot of work to do here with the default pistols, and Fallen finds the first kill there. It's going to be Fur actually chiming in first, that MAC-10, but Pitt does reply.
This is where Pitt's been stepping up. He's been able to find trades sometimes worth more than his weight, as he does go down this time with only 1 nade back through that will catch off Forrest. I'd say Kobe, but we're in Curry's building, so we've got to say Curry. As Friberg's going to walk back out, timing could be everything, nearly catches the bomb plant. And door shut, GetRight's going to open it. That sounds the alarms as they all turn back, 12 to 8. SK closing it slightly.
An interesting prospect now. In terms of the economy, we do have enough for NiP to buy here. I don't think they can get the AWP though. It'll have to be 5 M4s, maybe an SMG, considering if they want utility in the defuse kits here. Forrest yet to buy, so he does bring out the M4. It's 5 of them. Up against the ropes now. This is where most teams will go aggressive. Maybe towards Squeaky Door. You know you haven't got a kit. You need something working in your favor. I would suggest maybe they do a counter boost towards middle, something like that, just to get that first pick. They don't want to really allow SK to do a full execution here against them. We'll see what they bring to the table.
One's going to wait in the inside of the smoke at Sunroom. I'll hold the wings. It also holds the position to allow Cold to clear, so they're getting very close onto this B position. If they get some smokes out of the middle, if they can clear off the vents, could serve well, but that should come, given Freiburg's position, with the help of a Molotov. And then if you consider that Cubby's held right now as well by Get Right, if they overcommit to the mid position, even though he's low on HP, he could catch them completely unaware. So not a bad crossfire set with Freiburg inside the vents for the CT side to try and negate this pressure onto the B site.
Mid-presence here from Get Right, like you said. At the moment, very similar to what we saw from NiP. Bleed the CD's how we are low on economy as well. You can see he's got a few flashbangs to work with. One smoke in the hands of Get Right. He's gone on to 23 HP as well. As we can see them adjusting, will be a boost towards middle. Go for that control. Very lucrative part of the map as they start to boost up. Freiburg, he needs to go big here from the vents.
Haven't been flushed out. There's 3 Molotovs in play, but they've not used one, and Get Right's trying to get closer, knowing that they haven't seen anything on the A side. They have seen a little bit of mid-pressure. They know Cold's been running through the smokes over at B because Freiburg could hear that. It's very likely this is heading that direction. And all 5 of them are going to go out from B main. Freiburg's prime for this. If they don't counter it off, Molotovs go in. He's got to try and pick his time, pick his moment. Fires in, they hear it, but they don't respond, and they spot his feet. Cold takes him down. It's Forrest with only one. B-bomb site opened up, 11 seconds. They'll grab the bomb in time to plant. And as Taco takes out Forrest as well, Get Right on the lurk's going to have to absolutely step and take charge as he finds Fallen. Still not done, though, because Cold's still in that same position out toward Checkers. He can swing wide, find exactly where Get Right is. He still anticipates perhaps one more inside of middle, but they're not. It's Heaven and Tree and a smoke in front. Get Right finds one more. Cold swings exactly as mentioned, goes back and finds the shot towards Exist. Pith, he's got to try and find the shot in toward Cold, but he's so far removed from the bomb, he can bait this out in time, and Cold goes for the shot instead. Another round for SK.
coldzera starting to come to life now. 4 kills in that round, recovers the AWP as well. That was big for the Ninjas, like we said. No kits, lack of utility. You can see Fallen, he is struggling the AWP so far on Cash. Not landing the characteristic shots we expect from him. Get Right coming in the flank does make things interesting. It comes down to a 1v1 with 2 of the best players on the server right now, Pit and coldzera. But the champion comes out on top there. It's going to be 12-9. Another eco here for NiP. 5 Deagles. 1 flashbang, not necessarily stacking to one area as well. It's more of a default 2-on-2. Ferg gets that first frag, taking out Get Right fast through the mid-smoke there.
Very fast for Fur inside of the vents as well, though, but that actually doesn't really pay off because Freiburg's waiting there with the Deagle. It's going to be Fallen now, putting his attention over toward A main. Taco waiting outside of Squeaky. No aggression through the Squeaky Door from either side so far this game, which is a bit surprising. Usually you see it at least once a half that someone wants to get aggressive and hold off the A site in doing so. Fallen and Cold, though, stepping up and taking charge in the rounds, and so far the momentum firmly in their favor. This will be their 5th round in a row after 2 only for NiP. So it'll be a loss round bonus at maximum effect, and NiP, I think the timeouts need to start coming in. Oh, shot exists, but that doesn't really matter in terms of the overall scoreline.
Well, at least, Matt, we've got a game on our hands now. 12-10, double digits to both sides, and 5 rounds in a row for SK Gaming. Doing very well in these clutch situations. We do have a full buy, though, for NiP. The first time we see the AWP come out as well, it's going to be in the hands of Forrest this time. They've got 4 rifles surrounding him, and they have got the utility to work with, along with the kits as well. This is where things really start to come to life here on the second map. And Fallen with the AWP as well. He boosted up, but he is holding towards mid-storage. Those mid-smokes coming in nice and early, though. And I think that's actually a little bit of a fake. You can see 3 players going towards Squeaky Door, so they're trying to sell some mid-presence there. And with 3 CD players actually towards that position, this could get interesting.
The hard part of this boost is that Pith's up. He's got his back turned to the door. It's Exist getting into an escape and getting into safety before they try and open this, and he just gets over to the forklift now. Taco's not elected to go early. They're still waiting for the players to get inside A main. I take that back, they're gone. Pith's not ready for it. He's still looking toward A main, turns back in time, does find 2, turns around but pulls the nade. That's going to allow potentially Fallen to find Exist, but he's ready for it. Takes him down in Cold. He's found the only kill thus far. He's going to have to find 4 more if the round is going to continue with this trend. Going to SK now, keep in mind, we just mentioned it, max loss round bonus. Every kill he gets right now is big for SK. And he's got a first shot already to find the low HP player, but Forrest is there. They'll keep 3 alive, and importantly, the AWP as well.
Forrest has got some balls in him to actually face that cold zero in the form he's in right now as well. I thought he actually had a chance to take him down, but the AWP shot lands, and an NiP find a round in return. You can see what SK Gaming are trying to build up there. The 2 smokes towards mid that hold any players that might be there in that position. They've boosted one up as well, and it's quite a heavy A focus as well, but it's actually NiP with almost the perfect counter setup there. Full execution on the A side. With Pitt boosted up, he finds 2 more frags and adds to his total. It's actually Forrest leading the charge of 24 frags, but Pitt's not far behind with 22. Very strong performance from both of those guys so far.
Taps into mid, one of those bullets very near the head of Get Right as he gets in toward the cubby. Again, they set this crossfire with Freiberg. Remember last time, no use of Molotov to clear this. It seems standard, but he's only really gone here twice, and they never spotted him when he did so, so it's not like they're anticipating to use it by default. Sort continues to try and spot to see if Get Right has made it into that position. Meanwhile, over toward the A site, Fallen's got his way towards Squeaky, and the door's been opened, so Pith knows he's there, and he's waiting at NBK for him to walk out. Watch Highway as well. Exist nearly exposed him behind the barrels, and I'd favor Fallen normally, but again, he's been missing a few shots that leave us questioning in this game. It's not going to extend all the way to the wall. Fallen could still potentially try and go for a shot on that.
Yeah, he's just trying to work this first pick at the moment. Haven't really committed to any other parts of the map here, but he's waiting towards middle. There's heavy CD presence there once again. Get Right spots him, looking with that first frag. You can see he's going to be receiving flashbangs in return, but can he hold on and find the next kill?
You know, he's here now. That's a problem because they're going to double Molotov, stack it up. He's got to get away from this, and in fact, he goes down immediately. Molotov actually failed. It went down and I think caught the edge of the wall, so didn't deploy properly. So good thing the bullets did find, but now they've got the advantage by 2. And they're going to rush it back over toward A, where Pith resides and waits with an AWP against 4 angry SK players trying to walk through. FNX, he misses that first shot. It's going to get closer inside. Wrap around, Cold's got the shot. It's onto Forrest, and he's smart enough to sit back and save the M4 at this point.
Yeah, he has to. It's 4 versus 1. He's got no kit, no nades, and Pitt. That was the only real opportunity he's going to get with the AWP there. 3 players running in front of his screen. He could have hit that first shot. The shoot's in between all of them, and it gives them a clean run at the bomb site here. So after winning 1 round, after losing 5, NiP do drop this one. It will be a pretty harsh reset. Forrest does find 1 kill in the form of FNX, but gives his position away. They know he's towards CD spawn. It doesn't look like they'll be hunting him at this point. So going into the next round, we get $1,400 for the Ninjas. Not really enough to buy with. Exist probably can bring out an M4. His teammates not so much. With the M4 saved as well, though, could be a double eco. They might force up into this round and try and see what they can do here, but it's getting to the real dangerous sectors here. Need to keep the money under control. Can't give too much away here. 13-11. SK strike back. A nice default there. And actually finding Get Right. You can see that double Molotov coming in. He actually did very well to even get that kill, but shut down. This was the key frag there. Freiberg caught out of the vents. Taco nails the headshot, and Fallen, we saw him waiting toward that squeaky door area, hitting the rotation frag.
2 rounds separate them. NiP, they had the lead 10-5. Remember, they only won 1 gun round, and this time they'll only have 1 gun. It's Forrest on an M4. The one was saved. That's where it gets in toward the top of the middle. Needs to go out. No smoke's covered off by default. They're going to boost up FNX as well, so 2 guns to try and fire down and cover off these positions and allow them to advance. For SK, this is an important championship as well when you consider the storyline. Under the Illuminosity banner, 3-0'd by Fnatic when they had 12-3 leads in 2 out of the 3 games at Katowice. They've won the last 2 majors. People are calling it the SK era. They've never won an IEM championship.
Well, Forrest now boosted up in the A side once again, a position that paid dividends for Pitt before. And he finds similar results here. It's all going to come down to this play. It's actually going to be correct as well. SK Gaming will make their way towards the A site here. Enough for a full execution, but sometimes this position is overlooked. We saw it before. Forrest now just needs to be patient and not drop down.
Interesting parallel on that point as well. That was the last championship the dominant Fnatic lineup won before Olaf's injury and then the departure of many players. Forrest, good boost, finds 1, drops down, tries to get aggressive, doesn't go through the door, and perhaps he should have. As FNX from A-Main catches him in the open, it's Cold to follow it up. And NiP suddenly down 2 on the A site. Pith on the Deagle does have a chance, but only gets the 1 shot. It's Cold to fall, but FNX to trade, and inside of the site, Taco does the rest of the work. Get Right down Freiberg, the last remaining challenge, and it could be 13-12 quickly, but hold our breaths on that wide peak from Fallen. No mistake that time.
Forrest had a chance there to cause absolute chaos there. That first kill was great. Like you said, had he gone through the door and just committed and gone with it, could have found the second kill. That could have been very interesting indeed. A little bit apprehensive, missed the movement slightly, and can't find his way in there. I think we have another eco here for NiP. This could tie things up at 13-13. And what I saw from SK Gaming on the CT side, I didn't think they'd be able to go toe-to-toe on the second half, but they've managed to do it. Broken the economy once again. We have got a little bite coming from Get Right. Brings an MP9 to proceedings. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it from heaven, but let's see if he can find anything. So going around number 26. And surely SK Gaming are going to tie things up in this round, but Freiburg has snuck past here.
He has snuck past, but they've got two in line from Connector and directly inside the garage itself in the form of FNX to take him back, and Fallen brings that AWP back over closer to mid, having already found one kill. It's going to give him some space to try and move. They know Get Right's been getting close inside of that position, but look at Pith. Again, he's going to get aggressive. They have no idea he's here. Spot him in the jump, though, and Fallen's able to respond. He's looking warmer, and that's getting scarier for NiP, who only have a one-round lead, and I dare say it's going to be a tie game after this, especially with Cold finding exactly the man. Get Right down. Pistols remain on 2, 1. I'll let you count it down, Henry.
I can't work out the rest. You're going to have to finish it.
32 HP is a hint. No armor's another.
Okay. So
P250.
Right. So Exist is going to do it.
Ever the optimist, Henry G.
Well then, next round will be quite telling as to where this is going to go. NiP been quite disciplined here, taking a couple of ecos, didn't force too much into them, so they're going to have potential for double AWP if they wanted to. A team that's not known for having superstar AWPers, a player's very capable. Okay, Exist. The auto sniper's back, Matt. It's going to be a single sniper rifle. I'm not sure this is the correct call. It's one of those weapons you bring in when you're doing very well, or you're a little bit desperate. And the auto sniper on this map can be very good. It's very good at spamming through towards the squeaky door, towards checkers, and in front of the smokes as well. But it's quite unorthodox, I have to say. Exist known for using it in the past. Let's see if we can find some old form here as we're going to round number 27.
This is the desperate time. This is do or die. This is it for NiP. Had a lead, their map. And SK's pulled it back. The auto sniper for Exist right now is going to play over toward the A. Same position Taco had it in at quad. Fer and Taco, speaking of, are going to be the two players over on that side of the map. Bomb with Cold and Fallen on B, and Forrest and Freiburg. Again, trying to set that cross. Not inside vents, though, is Freiburg this time around. I take that back. He's on the lip of it. Minimap loves to throw me off.
Well, the bomb over towards the B side of the map for now. Taco will be rotating as well. This could be a B split with no middle presence as of yet. Could it be a full execution towards the B side? You can do lots of molotovs through the window there. Smokes towards Heaven and CT spawn as well. That is an option. As Fallen, he holds Sunroom there with the AWP, looking towards if anyone's going to be going aggressive with the checkers room. But it's that auto sniper. I'm not sure it's going to pay off here, as it looks like a B side will be where SK Gaming will be finishing here. Exists on the A side of the map.
And how do you fancy a retake with an auto sniper? That could be a bit of an issue. 3 kits in play. We've got to start increasingly looking that direction, because right now it looks like 4 players for SK are going to be on that side of the map. Fur's in a position to catch off rotations as well. He'll hear Pith leaving the forklift if this bomb gets in toward the B site. And Freiburg's gone away from the vents. He's in behind the box. They're going to round the corner already, clear it off. In the site they go. Freiburg's going to have to wrap early, but Forrest is stepping up tremendously when needed. Finding 2, goes down, but now Freiburg's going to wrap back up. He's got to get there, but he falls before he arrives because Fallen's got to cover it off. Speaking of, Fallen will fall to Get Right. And Fer doesn't elect to get anyone and try and push back through and toward A. Rotates at mid instead, gets some information, but not the kills. And as a result, he goes down to Get Right because they spot him going over toward the B main position instead. It's FNX alone with the bomb ticking behind him that has to hold off 3 NiP players. Now, one of them does have the auto sniper. Remember, Exist on a retake. That's not favorable. So watch the AK and the M4, and they're going to try and get together. So it's a double peak, tradable position. FNX spots one nade, and immediately, okay, I take it back. Exist hits the shot.
No scope. Why not? Well, Matt, it's certainly not all for us, like I said, but Exist does make it work on that retake. Bit of a scrappy round overall. SK Gaming not really getting much done on their default to start things off. They go for the execution towards B, but Forrest shutting them down from the headshot position there. Most teams, before they go into B side, they'll throw a Molotov in that position. It shouldn't be this easy for him as you're looking right now. He should be Molotoved out, or at least smoked, and it will be Fallen. Finding a couple of kills in return. Did come down to an equal situation at that point, but the retake is strong. The problem is, once again, it's only 1 round in 4 that NiP have found. If they lose this one, could potentially mean another double eco. And at this stage of the game, that's a very scary prospect indeed. They need to win this round. And the money's going to be diminished. Round number 28, we've gone the full distance here on Cash. The auto sniper still rings true for Exist.
Remember as well against Liquid, we didn't point this out. Double auto sniper was one of the setups they used against Liquid in the semifinal to win that. Taco was the one on the auto sniper then too. I know I'm thinking back to the first half, but just for the sake of lineage. It's going to be held again here from Exist. Same position. They never attacked him on the A site, so he may still have the upper hand here, but Fallen's getting much closer to the position to peek on quad, and he has the AWP. Smoke out, fast peek, nails it, crosshair placement there. Fallen, make no mistake.
What is that?
That is unreal. Never mind the auto sniper, it's gone already.
That's so sick. Fallen just takes him down there. Exist had no idea what was going on. He was about to spam that smoke as well. I think, oh, am I get a free kill here? Nope, denied. Fallen takes him down. What a nice little set piece that is.
Needs Rain back through. It's Fur again anchoring down this A main, and it looks like it may be the same set play all over again. 4 to B, Fur to wait for rotations. Thankfully, Freiburg's gone back out of middle to get in toward the vents a little bit sooner this time, but he's not deep inside of Checker this for the rotation. This time, he's going to be dropping out and in their clutches. Forest, as a result, same position as the pistol. Peeks out, spots cold. Smartly gets away. Good damage done. They jump in. Taco somehow hits it, though. That was a must-win for Forest. Thankfully, he's done decent damage, so Freiburg can follow it up, but he's limited with 14 HP inside of mid, and this is where Fur can rotate for free this time. Much better positioning for SK overall than the last round. And the man advantage to boot, as the bomb will go down. Get right's the only one close. Slight gap in the smoke. Wants to take advantage. Pith knows the situation. He knows Fur's been running this exact same setup. They're desperate for a play through the garage door. And I don't think they're going to find it smartly, and IP's backing away.
Do you know what I mean? Like I said before, they lose this round, they go in with absolutely nothing and potentially give themselves a double eco. They could have potentially won this round in a 4 versus 3, but with the auto sniper, the reason we've pointed out before, not strong in that situation. They don't really have the grenades to work with here. So try and keep the weapons up. You can see the hunt begins. Fur's hungry to find. If he just gets one of these frags, it's devastating for an IP. They're trying to save as they turtle up towards the squeaky door. Fur's coming in, though. I don't think they'll have time to hunt them out, but we can see on the other side it's Fallen, edging closer and closer. They should be able to survive here. And that's good news. Like I said, the money's going to be in the absolute bin here, so they're going to have to try and balance things out, drop some Famises here, but what was that?
That's unreal. That is... I thought maybe there was a chance. I mean, GoTV, maybe there's a chance he sees it before it blooms, but I'm not thinking so. I think he just had the crosshair placement perfect.
Well. We do have 3 weapons saved. The auto sniper still out in the hands of Exist. Hasn't been that impactful, I have to say, but Forrest, he's just on a UMP. A chance for SK Gaming to close things out right here, right now. They have the advances. Fall fires off more shots through the smoke there. Not going to land anything this time.
Very different setup from NiP to put more pressure on mid early. And Freiburg elects to push up again. Same burrow, but different teammate to play off of in B. Same person, I should say. I guess same teammate, but very different setup as Forrest gets up closer to the box inside of B-main instead. I haven't really been checking that. Cold's gone over the box once as Fallen had the angle held with the AWP, but aside from that, they've been committing and anticipating they're not there, so maybe he can get the jump. No early read from SK this time. Fur's again inside of A main, but no indication with no picks on exactly where they're going to go. And Exist has changed his position as well in that auto sniper.
Well, Pit now alone on the A site. SK Gaming has shown such heavy presence towards the B bomb site over and over again. It looks like they'll be ending up towards A this time. They have got the smokes and utility to work with here. As they show some presence towards the mid area. I think it's a little bit of a ruse as they get the bomb and heading towards A storage. Pit, tremendous so far, but he might have a very tough task ahead of him here.
Smoke to cover off highway. Pit's position, though, can still see above this. Headshots only, and it's an M4 to do it with. He's got to be spot on. He's been good throughout the course of the series. But this is a pressure situation. Pop flash out, they're already in. He's missed his opportunity on the first, jumps up, commits to it, gets the bomb down. Pit snaps over, finds Taco. Fallen's got the response. And he's got the bomb back in his hands. He's actually going to bypass it initially. Realizes it, goes back for it, but Forrest has Cold in the meantime. And NiP may, let's not call it done, breathe a sigh of relief because this will put them on at least overtime point. Nade down to 16. Fallen misses a shot. We're there. It's going to be 15 for NiP.
Pit does it again. Like we said, he had to step up there in that situation. The execution comes in. It looked promising for SK there, finding the first frag. But Pit jumps up. The flashbang, the synergy's perfect with his teammates there. As soon as he gets up there, finds 2. That was the initial frag hit. This is the perfect play. You can see how fast everyone is as well. Exist chimes into that auto sniper. A huge round for them to win. And we go into round number 30 here. Overtime definitely a possibility. We pick up an AWP in the hands of Forrest. Exist still on the auto sniper. They do have a full buy for SK though. And IP need one more to take us to a 3rd map, which we know is going to be tremendous. Cobble will be something spectacular in this series of the grand final here at IEM. SK Gaming, they're looking to close things out at 2-0. It's going to have to be an overtime at this point, though.
They wanted the fast boost. They're not going to get it. Molotov denies it. Fallen, pre-scoped, has to wait. Pre-scoped would work if Get Right was up close in the cubby because he wouldn't hear him jumping up. In doing so, but no one's that close this time. Get right, more passive, bottom highway. Again, they've brought Forest closer to the vents because Freiburg's been having trouble getting back inside of the site if Forest gets caught off at headshot. Great shot. Now the auto sniper works. That's payback from Exist. It may be a spam weapon, but it only takes one bullet with a headshot like that.
Yeah, great stuff from Exist. Takes down Fallen as well. Such a big scalp to take. One round required to get us to that third map, but you'll want to see it. coldzera picks up the AWP. Up against it now.
It's big. This is so big. Catches him off. Discipline in the trigger. Nearly misses it, but good play from Pith. Taco down, 2-man advantage. And IP getting closer to forcing that cobblestone miss shot. Forest. 61, tagged in return. He's going to get aggressive here and stay in this position, but the flash coming through. And then Flames as well. He doesn't know he's burning. He's got to be very careful. Teammate as well inside of the vents. And he still finds a shot on the cold. Fur's the one that got close, but he had no angle to work with as a counter Molotov came out. He will get Freiburg. Now a second shot from FNX, but Exist still in the sight, and the auto sniper is going to win it for them. As that IP will force map 3. It took a while. They had a good lead, but they closed it, and they came alive late.
A little bit too close to comfort there, I have to say, but NiP do find what it takes to take map number 2. It's Exist. We called it out for being a little bit desperate at times, but the auto sniper pays dividends in the end, and we are going to see Colton map. That's the map that's really going to set the tone for the rest of the final here. It's going to be so equal, and it's going to be absolutely electrifying way to finish things off.
And for the record, I mentioned how long it's been for SK, or rather, that SK's never won an IEM. It's been almost 6 full 7 years for FNX and Fallen and winning one in 1.6. So it's been a long time coming, and they've got to wait at least one more map. I think we're ready to hand it over to the desk. I think Alex is standing by. Finally, something to talk about in Cobblestone. Finally, a middle ground. I think this series is going to get good.
It certainly should be a good one, Matt. Thank you very much. Alongside Henry or Hank, whatever you want to call him, he is indeed a tank. And so our NiP. Still, though, trips and stumbles on their map pick. We already highlighted that SK coming into this one should not be fantastic. It shouldn't be smooth. It shouldn't be the Brazilians map, and they push it all the way. YNK, my headset's falling off. Lots of twists and turns there on my cable as well as the game. Days and YNK, then I think we have to address the elephant in the room, that is that game was closer than it should have been, Sam.
I mean, it was, but SK played brilliantly well on that T side.
Right?
The way they took it so methodically after they tried that quick A, got shut down. And I have to praise their teamwork. You got to understand, they came in without playing this map for what was it, 7 months?
Yeah, since DreamHack Masters Malmo, which was in April.
Yeah, and think about what they did. They didn't get shot in the side of the head or anything like that. They checked every position. They played very well together, had great teamwork, and just the communication alone in order to take some of those sites like they did was really, really impressive. At the end of the day, though, NiP was too well structured, too well drilled. We saw it definitely on their T side, and that was what allowed them to overtake SK there at the end.
Whew, I mean, it came down to like 1 or 2 rounds. Exist, if he hadn't hit that headshot on Fallen, who knows where that would have gone with the auto sniper.
I do feel that a lot of the rounds, though, were very close in the second half, right? I feel that there were a lot of clutches, some impressive clutch performance from coldzera, like starting from that round number 3 where he just walks through the smoke with a Desert Eagle and gets 2 headshots. You know, that was what started the run for SK Gaming. But when you look at the map as a whole, I think in the end, even though the result itself was close, I think you can clearly see why NiP is regarded as one of the best teams on cash and how better they were than SK, because they were going. I was saying that maybe they should go for fakes because SK would be in a position to over-rotate. They were going for a lot of splits instead, splits towards the A side, where they would throw a bunch of smokes, force the rotate, but then have 1 or 2 players on, coming through highway. Yeah. And that would always split the attention of SK. Even in that particular round, SK had 4 players basically on A. NiP would still win the round because they know exactly which spots they need to look out for, what is covered with smokes and Molotovs. So in the end, yes, a very, very close game, but the most important thing is that NiP does get the win and we see Cobble.
We get a full 3 maps in this grand final. I do think that the main point that we have to make is well, twofold. One, the first half from NiP was what we expected, Sam. An expectable and also an incredibly impressive performance from the Swedes, right? Like, I mean, you pick up 10 rounds on T side, there's a reason for that. I know that you, alongside most of us watching, were sitting there going, well, this is what we expected. It was the same as SK's train, right?
Well, it started out a little bit shaky, right?
Sure.
SK looked like they were gonna, have a really good CT side when it was like 3-3 or whatever. But then you really saw NiP's experience on the map come through and shine. And we definitely see way different styles. As Yanko pointed out, there was a lot of splits by NiP. SK was more of like a brute force type strategy where they just 4 or 5-manned in, just using Molotovs, getting right to the edge of A or B and then exploding out, which was a really good strategy by them, because if they did splits like that, they wouldn't have had the timing that NiP had. They would have went up high way too early. They would have gotten crossfired, and then they would have focused on A main because they just don't have the experience together on that map.
And I think it's a great example for teams how they can approach maps which are not their strongest maps, because brute forcing your way in, basically you have a numbers advantage, so your main goal is just to get to the bomb site and plant the bomb, and then you can always, at least hope or rely on your players, on your individuals to go for a play, try and make a play in the after plant, go for a cheeky peek, right, get the advantage your way, and you'll probably win more rounds than trying to do something that requires a lot of practice, a lot of structure, and you simply don't have that.
I completely agree. I think that's a great point. And that brute force strategy, though, we see it on Train with SK too, and they're just so good at that because they just trade the kills, make it the 3v3, and then when you have players like Cold in a 3v3, it's just...
Now, viewers would often perhaps fall into the trap. When we say brute force, it does perhaps have the undertone of less structure, less plan, less format, less skill. However, you guys can remind everyone at home that still being brute force and having that, it takes so much skill to be able to do that effectively.
Well, the thing that it takes is really good communication with your teammates, being like, okay, I'm going to go in, I'm going to check here. I'm responsible for this. I'm going to do this and be responsible for this, et cetera, et cetera. And then as soon as somebody dies, everybody has to know what that person was responsible for. And the thing about SK is they did it all on the fly.
It's on the fly, and it was off the cuff, and we still saw them pushing NiP on their home map. There's no doubt. I say home map with a pinch of salt, admittedly, given that Nuke wasn't available to them.
Well, but they protected home court, right?
Yeah.
Their map pick, they protected home court.
They really did, and I think, you know what, there's a discussion that will be had for many months to come after this grand final, depending on the result, is how that veto went down. The fact that we did see them go for that Mirage ban outside, and we did see that Train go through for SK, right?
You look at this map, you look at how Cash went, and I think we can all agree that we would have thought that SK would do much worse on Nuke than they did on Cash. So when you look at the SK side of things and their veto, you can say, okay, this was a good decision from them. Yes, in the end, they still append losing the map, but they put up a much better fight than they probably would on a map like Nuke.
Yeah, and I think whenever you're the underdog, which SK clearly was going into Cash, all you want to do is give yourself a chance to win, and they had more than a chance to win. They had a good chance to win. So I think it was a brilliant decision by them to ban Nuke and go with Cash.
Now, what's interesting as well is that this deciding map, which everyone is calling going to be the closest between these two teams, historically hasn't been close. SK have won the last 4 cobblestone games that they've played versus NiP. And so the Swedes, albeit having survived Cash by a very narrow margin, are going to have a lot to prove in our final map, which is where we will be going next. It's kind of crazy to me that Cobblestone will be determining all of this, and already at NiP, I don't know about you guys, you know these players better than I do, but you can't help but feel that getting so close on a map that you should be winning as convincingly as SK1 Train, do you not think that's going to waver their confidence at all, Sam?
No, because a win's a win. A win's a win. Whether it's 16-0 or 14-16, a win's a win.
Okay, a win is a win in his books. You're nodding as well, Yanko. You think we're still getting a fantastic Cobblestone?
Confidence, not at all. If anything, it's going to be fatigue. They've had a long best of 3 before this. Now they're going into another 3-map series. So for them is to, find a way to keep the hype going, keep the adrenaline going, so that you don't really think about that. That doesn't affect you. You can only focus on the last map.
Well, they're probably going to be focusing on many things. One, $300,000. And of course, the lion's share goes to the winner of this next map of Counter-Strike. 2, the crowd, the roar, the amount of welcoming vibes they feel as they're going to once again walk out onto that stage after our break to prepare for Cobblestone. It will be Cobblestone, the castles and the hills will once again determine who will be the champion here at Oakland, and it will be coming up right after our break. Will it be the Brazilians or will it be the Swedes? We'll find out after our break as we return to talk about our final map of the tournament.